Okay. Um, I guess I'm live, but I don't know if anybody can hear me because I have my microphones on, but I really can't tell if, well, it's showing up on the microphone, so that I must be, my microphone must be working. I don't know. Anyway, let's see, it's been a long time since I did a live video, and I'm a little rusty, I'll be honest. And one of the reasons I'm doing this is because I'm thinking about getting back into teaching yoga. So I need a little practice. I'm a little very rusty. Anyway, today's class will be stretching and yoga. So if you don't know anything about yoga, don't be too hard on yourself. Just kind of mimic what I'm doing and follow along. If there's something that hurts, don't do it. And if you're not able to do it, just skip it, I guess. Work within your range of motion and, listen to your body so you don't pull anything. We are going to start. If you have a couple blocks, that would be great. If you have a strap, if you do not have a strap, go get a towel or a belt or a tie or something long, actually, pretty long. And we're going to start on the mat. I have a blanket. A blanket would be good if you don't have a block, but blocks are nice to sit on. So for a lot of people, sitting on the floor is not comfortable for them. So you want to get your hips up a little bit so that it's not, so your knees aren't up like this. Because yeah, if your knees are up like that, then you're not gonna be able to even sit up straight. So you want to get yourself up high enough that you can actually sit up straight. And then just put your hands on your thighs, close your eyes, take a deep breath in, slowly let it go. Deep breath in, slowly let it go. Deep breath in, and slowly exhale. And just keep breathing on your own timing. And every time you inhale, think about the spine lengthening through the crown of your head. And as you exhale, think about keeping that length in the spine and rooting through the sit bones. Just try to find a still point. If thoughts are racing through your head, just notice that and try to disregard them. Just keep focusing on the breath. And a couple more breaths here. And then you can open your eyes. Grab your strap if you have it. If you do not have a strap, go get one or get a towel. You could even use one of the stretchy bands. Stretchy bands would work great for this. I'm going to use a strap myself, and I'm going to grab hold of it and open it up pretty wide so that when you lift it up, you can bring your arms back behind you. So up and over, up and over. Inhale up, exhale over. Inhale up, you might want to come a little closer. Exhale down. Just kind of feel it out with your shoulder. A few more times. Pull the strap apart. Or you should have that feeling of pulling the strap apart. I'm going to check my volume. See if I can get this up a little bit louder. Oh, we'll see. It's about as loud as it goes. Hopefully you can hear me. I don't know. I've got them both hooked up. They look like they're connected, but I have no idea if I can hear me. I should check and see. Any inversions? What are we working on today? No, we're not going to be working on inversions today. We're just going to be working on stretching because I teach resistance stretching, so we'll be doing a lot of that. A lot of recovery stretching if you work out. No inversions today, other than downward dog. All right, so you've got the strap and you're going to pull it apart. I want you to kind of lean to the side. Tip it as far as you can with control and back up, and then lean to the other side. And while you're doing this, you can kind of, round forward and back. Just gonna make a big circle. If this is hurting your shoulders, then go wider or stop doing it. One more time, just kind of around and back. And then I'm going to get rid of the strap. You're going to take your right arm behind you, and you're going to hold your wrist behind, and just kind of pull it over to the side. And then lean over to the left. And then try to take that hand and work it up the center of the back. And then take the other arm, bring it over the top, see if you can touch your fingers. If not, that's okay. Sometimes the effort is actually better than hooking the fingers. If not, well, you can use your strap, work up the hand, up the back, and hook with the strap. Kind of roll that right shoulder back a few times. And then tilt the head over to the right. And then tilt it down. I'm going to do the other side. So left arm behind the back, grab the wrist with the right arm, pull it over, and they're going to lean. This is to get this neck fascia kind of stretched out a little bit. And then work the hand up the back. So I've got my palm facing away from me. The palm is facing the back wall. And then the arm up and over. And if you can touch or hook, that's great. Otherwise, use your strap. I haven't done this for a while, so I'm realizing that I'm not as close as I used to be. This one just takes practice. And then while you're here, roll that left shoulder back a few times. And then tilt your head to the left. And then round it forward. That's for levator scat. Back up. And release your strap. All right, next, you're going to take the block out from under you, and we're going to do a reverse tabletop stretch. So this is a yoga exercise, but it's also a Kihara resistance stretch for your anterior shoulder, bicep, and pec minor. So place your feet on the ground, your hands behind, fingertips pointed toward your feet or out to the side, whichever you prefer. Puff your chest out, lift your hips if you can. If not, just puff the chest. Lift the hips, tailbone under, reverse tabletop, and lower down. Inhale up, exhale lower. Inhale up, exhale lower. A few more times. And as you do this, sometimes when I pop up, I'm thinking about pulling my heels toward my hands and my hands toward my heels. It just gives a little bit extra stretch. You could also try shifting forward a bit. It's going to give you more shoulder stretch. And then we're going to work into a butterfly stretch. This is a groin stretch for resistance stretching, for Kihara resistance stretching. But I like it because because the way we do it with resistance stretching, it gets the traps and the rhomboids a little bit too. So rather than just sitting here and pushing forward, we're going to move our knees in. Our elbows are going to move out at the same time. So the knees move together, the elbows are pushing out, slowing the movement down. And then keep pushing the knees together, and then let the arms win to open up. Your belly can come forward a little bit here. But as you bring the knees kind of round this upper back, and you can feel a stretch there. You should feel a stretch there. Open and close. So those of you that aren't very open here, focus on the stretch here. For those of you that are really open here, either focus on the shoulder stretch or focus on the strength required for this. Push more with your arms and your knees so you can try to strengthen these muscles. This groin muscle, when we do key problem solving, it's paired with the lateral hamstring. So if you have a tight lateral hamstring, you want to start working these groin muscles a little more to balance it out. Because if you think about it, when you come out here, everything on the outside is shortening, right? And then as you come here, inner thigh muscles are shortening and the outer hip is growing longer. So there's a direct correlation between the strength and the flexibility with one and the other. Okay, and then next we're going to do a little TFL. I'm going to have you take your hands behind you and just kind of prop yourself up. And I'm going to walk this foot out a little bit. So it's about a 90-degree bend in the knee, and I'm going to cross my left ankle over. I'm going to shoot my right knee out to the side. I'm going to try to push this left knee down. And you can move in and out of this just like that, or you can hold it here and just kind of push it a few times. And for you yoga people, yes, this does lead into double pigeon. If you want to do double pigeon, you certainly can. This is just kind of a warm up here. And then we'll switch sides. So now the right foot is crossed over the left knee, and we're going to take the knee out to the side and push the right knee toward the left foot. So again, you can move in and out of this. This feels good. I guess you can kind of take it over if you wanted to. Do either. Feel free. I don't you, so it's like that's, something's going to hurt yourself. Feel it out. Play. muscle for me, right on the side of my hip that does get tight quite a bit. I'm actually doing this class more for me, doing it for you, but I do need practice, getting back into teaching yoga. So don't expect uh, amazing things from me today. I'll get better. All right. And then we're going to swing our feet around behind us and take a cat-cow. So we're going to come to your hands and knees, blocks to the side, keep your blanket handy, and round the back, curl the tailbone under, nod your head, and then belly down, pull the shoulder blades together, pull the chest through the arms, tilt tailbone up. So back and forth. Inhale, exhale. Feel free to move around in different ways if you want to. And then we're going to pop it up to downward dog. I don't care what your downward dog looks like. It doesn't have to be perfect. Tuck your toes under, push your hips up and back. I would prefer, if you are in downward dog, rather than being here with your legs straight and your back rounded, I would prefer that you have the knees bent and the spine long, and get the spine long from hands to hips. And then you can kind of pedal your heels into the mat, stretching out the calves. So we're in downward dog. We're going to lift the heels, shift forward, and then shift back. Slowly lower the heels. Press the chest toward the thighs. Lift the heels again, shift forward, shift back. Lower the heels. Try to pick the toes up. Tilt the tailbone up and press the chest back toward the thighs. So lifting and lowering. And we'll do a couple more of these. This is the Kihara resistance stretch for calves and chest. One of my favorites. And then we're going to bring the feet closer together. Lift the left leg high behind you. This is going to increase your calf stretch quite a bit. And I want you to keep the hips as squared as you can. So try to keep the hip from popping up right now. And then as you shift forward into a plank, I want you to bring your knee toward your nose. Exhale. Inhale, stretch it back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, stretch it back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, stretch it back. Exhale, knee to nose. We're going to do this one more time. And then step through the hands. Now, here is where I would recommend, if you have a hard surface, getting a blanket or a pillow to put underneath your knee. And if you need it, grab your blocks. So my foot is between my blocks. I'm going to pull my heel toward me as I shift forward. I'm going to keep my heel pulling toward me as I shift back. So your basic runner's stretch. You may or may not need the blocks. That depends on you. I'm not really counting here. We're just kind of working through it. And then I'm going to rise up, and I'm going to do a little bit of a hip flexor stretch. So what I want you to do is, instead of If your hip's popping up back there, I want you to pull it under, pull the belly in, and so straighten up, and then shift forward. Give a little push with the back foot into the mat if that is not bothering your knee. Shift forward, place your hands on your thighs, straighten up, and you can move in and out of this if you like. And then I'm going to bring my foot, my back foot in. I'm going to be facing away from you, so hopefully you can hear me. But I'm going to turn my body to the back wall. I'm going to try to keep my tailbone under as I go into this stretch. I'm going to lean, side bend, reach for a block or my foot, my ankle, and then take my right arm up and over. This should be a huge QL stretch as well as hip flexor stretch. And then we're going to work back to the center and twist the other way. So my hand is either on a block or the mat, and I'm going to turn. You can use your hand on your thigh to help you twist, or you can take your hand behind your back. You could even lift your back leg if you wanted to. And then we're going to get rid of the block. We're going to go back to downward dog. I'm going to move this blanket out of the way just for a moment. So downward dog, shift forward, and lower down to the mat. I am not one of those who likes to do a slow lower down to the mat like that, but you can if you want. I'm generally a knee person. Come all the way down to the mat. You're going to roll your shoulders down and back and lift your chest. If you can, hold that contraction with your toes touching the ground and actually lift your hands. Just take a few deep breaths here and release. Second option, hands behind your head, pull the elbows back and lift. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and down and release. And press back to your downward dog. And we're going to do the other side. So lift your right leg high behind you. Try to keep the hips squared if you can. Nice calf stretch. And then shift forward, knee to nose. Shift back again. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And just continue. Just to maximize that calf stretch in the left leg. This is heaven for me. It might not be for you, but my calves are always tight, so doing this really, really helps. And then this last time, we're going to step through and put the back knee down again. So if you're one that needs that padding underneath your knee, put it there. Don't wait for me to tell you. And we're going to do the runner stretch on the other side. So my hands are straddling my foot, blocks if you need them. I'm going to pull this heel toward me to activate my hamstring and then pull my hips back. So I'm pulling my heel toward me the whole time, basically, just to get that hamstring activated. And then I'm going to get a lot more of a fiery stretch. This is like the epitome of resistance stretching right here. It's like a hamstring curl, but we've turned it into a stretch. If few more times. And then we're going to rise up and the hip flexor stretch. So tailbone under, belly in and up. I'm going to hold that contraction, press my back foot into the floor if your knee allows, and then shift forward. I'm going to lean, because if I lean, all my stretch is going to be gone. And then for more, just press your hands into your thighs and really lift up and out of the hips. You should get an amazing stretch through the front of your left thigh. And you can move in and out of this as well. And then I'm going to bring my foot in, just like I did on the other side. I'm going to turn my hips to the side. Lean in to the knee. Reach up and over. I like to just put my hand on my shin and hold it, but you could use a block. You could use whatever you need. Lean and reach. Tailbone under, belly in. Again, you can move in and out of this, or you can just hold it. And then turn back to center. And we're going to twist the other way. So turn into the leg. You can put your hand on a block, hand on the floor. Use your other hand to help you spin around. Or you can take the hand behind the back. If you want to, lift the back leg. Hold for a moment, and then we're going to release. Take the blanket out. Back to your downward dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale, lower down. And roll the shoulders down and back. If you like to, take your cobra a little bit farther today. Fingertips on the mat. Lift the chest. Tailbone under, belly in and up. Or upward dog. So for upward dog, the thighs are off of the mat. The shoulder blades are pulling together. We don't want to slump into the arms like this. But lift, pull the shoulder blades together and chest through the arms. And then press back to your downward dog. And from downward dog, we're going to walk the feet forward, one foot at a time, to your forward fold. I know some of you can't touch your toes. This is fine. This is fine. Just do whatever you can. And once we're here, we're going to place the hands on the shins and lift the chest. Chest forward, shoulder blades together and down the back. Lift the tailbone. Fold again. And then rise all the way up to standing. Lift the arms. Inhale. And exhale, bring your hands to your heart. We're going to do a couple sun salutations. I know some people hate them, but they're good for you. Inhale up. Exhale, fold forward. Step back to downward dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. You can do a full or knee. Inhale, cobra or back bend of choice. And exhale, downward dog. And from downward dog, walk your feet toward your hands. Forward fold. Half lift, hand under your shins. Inhale. Exhale, fold again. Inhale all the way up to standing. And exhale, we're going to do a chair pose. So sit your hips back, arms by your ears. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway rise, hands on your shins. Exhale, fold. Step back, or if you're a jumper, you can jump back. And if you jump back, it's going to look like this. You're going to bend your knees. You're going to land bent arms, and then lower right into your chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Hold for 3 breaths, usually in downward dog. We're going to inhale the right leg high. Exhale, step the right foot through the hands. I'm going to have you spin your back heel in a little bit so that it's angled, and we're going to rise up into a high lunge, or warrior one. In warrior one, I'd like you to bend your elbows, squeeze your shoulder blades together, tip your hands back, lift your chest, and then stretch your arms out. The nice chest stretch. And then circle your arms around. Place your hands on the mat. Step back to plank. Inhale. Exhale, lower down. Elbows back. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. And then inhale the left leg high. And exhale, step the left foot through the hands. Angle the heel inward a little bit. And rise up to warrior one. Hips are squared, shoulders relaxed. And this time, yes, again, we're going to bend the elbows, tip the hands back, lift the chest, and stretch the arms back. And circle the arms around. Frame the foot, step back, plank, inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or cobra, your choice, and exhale, downward dog. Take a couple of breaths here in downward dog. You rest in downward dog. I'm going to grab my phone for a minute, see how we're doing on timing. Not that good. Okay, right leg high. Inhale, exhale, step your right foot through your hands. And we'll hop that back foot forward just a little bit and straighten the front leg. Square your hips, so your right hip is pulling away from your head, your left hip is pulling forward. I'm going to bend the knee, rise, and then balance on my front leg. And as I balance on my front leg, we're going to move in and out of this warrior three a few times. I'm going to take my hands behind me, lift the back leg as my head comes down. And then as I rise, I'm going to bring the leg through. Arms come up, and you can shoot the leg through if you like or not. And we move in and out of this warrior three a few times. This is warrior three. And just rising up. Inhale up and exhale down. One more time. Then I'm going to step that back foot behind me, rotate it inward, and turn my hips to the side. So I'm in a warrior two. The outside edge of my left foot, the back edge, is paralleling the short edge of the mat. So this is warrior two. We want our torso to be up and up straight, not leaning, hips level. Hold this, and then slide your left arm down your left thigh, lift your right, turn your palm up, and reach up and back, reverse warrior. and then rise. And we'll do a side angle. So you can bend your elbow and just rest it on the thigh. For side angle, you want this front hip to drop. I was once told, and this made so much sense to me, imagine the bone of your leg pushing out through the bottom. So just push it down as if you're trying to stretch the back of your leg with the bone. And then leaning into the side angle, I like to again put my hand on my shin. You could use a block, whatever is handy, and then stretch the other arm up and over. And rise back up. Warrior two. We're going to reverse the warrior again. So hips are level. Inhale up. Exhale, side angle. And if you want to take this into a balancing half moon, this is your choice now. If you use a block, it goes like this. Block here, hop the back foot, block here, hop the back foot. And then you're going to be balancing on one leg and one hand. And if you have to look at the floor, look at the floor. Eventually, you'll be able to do it looking at the opposite wall. And there you have it, balancing half moon. From balancing half moon, we're going to turn, place the hands on the floor, and work into a standing split. Just lifting that back leg up as high as you can. And then we're going to step back into that pyramid that we started with, block underneath the hand or not. And we're going to try to straighten both legs and turn into the right leg. And lift the right arm up. Revolve, balancing half moon. So we're pulling that left hip forward, right hip back. Pressing down with the ball of the right foot, the big toe base. And then release. Both hands on the mat. Step back, plank. Inhale, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. And exhale, downward dog. A couple of breaths here. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, step forward. And we're going to pop that back foot forward a little bit, drop the heel. Use your blocks if you need to. Pull the left hip away from the head, right hip forward. You can drop your head if you want to, or you can straighten the spine. There's two different versions of this. This is more active, more passive. It's whichever you prefer. And then bend the front knee and rise. And we're going to balance again on this left leg for warrior three. I'm just taking my hands behind me because it's much easier than up by the ears. So try to keep the hips as squared as possible, not letting that right hip pop up. Warrior three. Inhale up. And you can stretch this leg out if you like or not. Back to your warrior three. I find this is a good exhale place. Good inhale place. Just working in and out of it. And one more time. And then we're going to step back to warrior two. I'm going to turn around so that you can see I'm facing you. So again, the back foot is turned at a 90 degree. So the outside edge of the back foot is paralleling the short end of the mat. The inside edge of the front foot is paralleling the lengthwise grain. So that's where you should be. Arch to heel alignment, and then arms out. Warrior two. Hips are level, not like this. It puts a lot of stretch on your front leg. Want it even. And then reverse. Inhale up. And then we're going to drop into this left hip for side angle. So the hips are no longer level for side angle. And we want to pull the belly in and turn the hips as much as possible, opening this front knee. That is going to give you the maximum stretch. And then arm up by the ear. Ideally, the best way to get the arm up there is just to lift it straight. But if you need to, you can lift it up. I just prefer to have the arm rotated that way. And then just keep trying to turn the torso. Turn it around. And then rise, reverse. Inhale up. And then we're going to do the balancing half moon on the other side. Get this foam roller out of the way. So I've got my block. I'm actually used to doing it without the block, so it kind of makes me a little nervous doing it with the block. And then hop the back foot forward, hop the block forward, hop, hop, hop. Balance on that left leg. And this is as far as you need to go in this balancing half moon. But if you're up for it, lift the hip. Pull the hip up, 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 up. Turn your gaze toward the opposite wall. And lift the arm. And then we'll straighten back out again. Lower that right hip. Step back into your pyramid pose. Again, this is where we started in this round. And the block, if you need it, under the right hand. Turn toward the left. This left hip is really going to want to pop up toward the shoulder. Try to move it back. Revolve. And lift the arm. And one thing I forgot, because I am so rusty, is I forgot to do a standing split on this side. So we'll do the standing split. If you can. Lift the back leg. Then we're going to step back. Plank. Inhale. Exhale. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. And exhale, downward dog. Walk the feet toward the hands to the front of the mat. Forward fold. Should be easier than the first one. Bend your knees. Inhale up. Rise to standing. And exhale, hands to your heart. I think we might have time for something fun. So we're going to try this. We're going to do a standing figure four. So just stand on your right leg, cross your left ankle over. If you need a wall to help you, press your ankle into your thigh. Stick your butt out behind you. Lower down. And we're going to lift and lower a few times. And if you're able, you can put your hands down. You can put your hands down, bend your back knee, wiggle your shin on top of your tricep, and maybe balance. And if you can balance, maybe you can shoot that back leg behind you. Or maybe not. And then rise, and we'll do the other side. So cross that right ankle over the left knee, press the ankle into the knee, push the hips back, sit down. Keep pushing the ankle into the thigh and rise back up. We are opening up the glutes, a little bit. This is a great one after glute day at the gym. And if you don't make it all the way down here, that's fine. Just work within your range of motion. But if you're up for the arm balance, this is flying pigeon. So I'm hooking my foot around my tricep, and then I'm gonna bend the back knee, and my knee is gonna set on my right tricep, and I'm balancing. And if I can, shoot the leg behind me for a moment. And then we'll come back up. That was close to an inversion, kind of. Inhale up, exhale, fold forward. And we're in downward dog. Right after that, we're gonna come into a pigeon. You should be all warmed up for it. Right leg back, bring the knee toward the right wrist, and then walk that left leg back. You can, for this one, stay here. You could bend the knee, you could grab the ankle, pull it in. I like to push and pull for a quad stretch. Sometimes it takes a little bit of a reach back, flip, push, and that way your hamstring won't object too much. Or you could work into a deeper quad stretch. Or mermaid. But sometimes in this pose, I kind of just like to pulse a little bit. So pulling my knees towards each other and releasing. And from here, I'm going to bring this front knee back and the back knee forward. And I'm going to rise. Sit back, rise. Sit back, rise, and sit back. You can sit all the way back. You can sit on a block. Sometimes it takes 2 blocks. And then from here, I'm going to bring my right arm behind my back, just like we did to start, and my left arm over and try to hook. Cow face pose. And release. We'll do the other side. So stretch your legs back. You can take a vinyasa if you'd like, or just press back to downward dog. Totally up to you. Left leg up. Bring the knee toward the left wrist. Set the shin on the mat in a diagonal. If this isn't working for you, just bend your back leg. I don't know if you can see that or not. So you don't need to have your back leg straight. And you don't need to be turned. Just work with whatever you can do. And then I'm going to pull my foot. So I've reached back, flip the foot, push the foot into the hand. Push and pull is a nice stretch. Or you can take that a little bit further. I'm pulling the heel in, turning my hand around. And believe me, you can always have tension. You can always have a little bit of tension with the foot pushing into the hand pushing into the foot. Or the other option Just come down. Or pulse. Sometimes that really helps me get tension. But you should, with the standing 54 we did, you should feel a little open. And then we're going to do that cow face pose again. So bring the knee back, bring the other knee forward until they meet. Open the feet, rise, lower and rise. And then maybe sit back or sit on a block. I'm feeling like it's a block day for me. So I'm sitting on the block. I've known people that sit on 3 blocks for this one. And then my left arm's going to go behind my back, reach up the center of the back, and the right arm up and over. And release the arms. Take the block out. Stretch your legs back. Vinyasa, if you'd like to take it. I'm just going to press back to downward dog. And shift forward and lower down to the mat. We're going to take a one-arm bow, pull the foot back and lift. Other side. Both sides, if you can. Shoulder blades down the back. Press the pubic bone down into the mat, and then lift. And release. Okay, we're going to flip the legs around to the front. And lie down for a minute. So lie down, bring your arms out to the side, lift your knees and your feet, and then just rock from side to side. Maybe hold. And then the opposite side, and maybe hold. And then to end, if you have a block, that's great. If you don't worry about it. We're going to end in a bridge. So lift your hips up. You're going to place a block underneath your hips. You can put it on the highest position, the middle, lowest, whichever. Kind of get the shoulder blades tucked underneath you, and just relax. Let your bring your feet out to the side and kind of rock your knees in, or rock them from one side to the other. If you're way up here and you're really wanting more, you can kind of stretch a leg out. Or stretch a leg out. Whatever's feeling good to you. And then we're going to remove the block and lower down. Just try to roll from the top of your spine down to the stretch your legs out. I like to put my arms over my head, but they can be down, whatever's comfortable for you. And just take a few moments, take like a minute, and just breathe. Breathe through your belly. Relax your jaw and your tongue and your throat, your eyes, space between your eyebrows. Just let everything relax. Let your legs feel heavy. And then wiggle your fingers and toes. Open your eyes and roll to the side. Push yourself up. And, well, it's exactly an hour. So I have no idea if you could hear me or not, but that's okay. I'll try to get it fixed next time. But I would appreciate if you could tell me if you can hear me because I don't know. Anyway, um, let me know if there's anything else you'd like me to do a yoga class on because I'm just trying to get back into it and I appreciate your feedback. So leave questions, comments, anything. All right. Thank you. Bye bye.